Yes, I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, and no, I'm not loaded. The latest purchase I've ever made regarding the card game was a 3-pack of the Sacred Beast structure deck, which came out almost a year ago. Not to mention that my purchase was merely as a fan of their artwork and concept-wise rather than being an active player in the community. I still play a few of the video games, which I will cover in a future video, please subscribe. But with that said, Team APS is my favorite JuneTube channel out of the few that I watch, and by that I mean 3. I know the community is very mixed regarding YouTubers, but when it comes to the content in isolation, they're really enjoyable and informative if you're into the franchise. I should state, only if you're into the franchise, since I can say for a fact that the only people outside of Yu-Gi-Oh who can enjoy this kind of channels will be those that have the basis on how a trading card game works, and even that would be to an extent. Which is fine, I don't expect a player from Magic the Gathering to know the issues behind Firewall Dragon.
That deck is degenerate!
Firehouse cancerous!
Your opponent doesn't get a chance to play.
You're stopping others from having fun.
However, I do need to make this emphasis if you're interested in any of the channels that I'm mentioning in this marathon. Just like how Geekdom's videos may require that you at least watch Dragon Ball in order to enjoy its content at its fullest level, you may need to be updated on Yu-Gi-Oh in order to understand the topics in Team APS. Which is not an easy thing to do since I'm a fan but not quite updated on the IP nowadays. I still don't quite know what Pendulum and Link monsters are about since it wasn't around the time I was there, I just stopped caring, you know? Which the channel even acknowledged in their skit videos, some of my favorite videos of them.
These are all the cards in the game. You need to memorize them, have a deep understanding of how they work. Ritual, Pendulum, Link, that's a new.
They are aware that the state of the series has its ups and downs, but they don't try to hold your hand if you're not familiar with the current state of the game. They're not gonna give you a Yu-Gi-Oh 101 class in order to understand their content, if that makes sense. Speaking of content, they do bring variety to the topics and formats of their videos. Sometimes it's Larry in the Hole, which I made an Online Wonders video about it, please subscribe. They have team duels of popular archetypes or special requirements within their deck creations, kinda like custom games but more expensive and more cardboard. It's a community channel consisting of 7 Yu-Gi-Oh players that cover many areas around the card game, as well as the community as a whole. There are blog videos which go from reactions to overall discussions regarding a topic, as well as a commenting on comments kind of section where they check on community replies on whatever thread they wish to talk about. They recently, at the time of this recording, pushed forward on a challenge mode where they had to pull a specific requirement in order to be considered winners in a duel. The channel itself puts entertainment as a priority. You're not gonna see the most complex one-turn kill combinations during any kind of duel, at least not intentionally, since their content is intended with a for fun approach rather than one made for glory, which I appreciate since if I wanted to focus on having the best match, I'd go watch tournament videos. I much rather watch them using their fun decks, if you know what I mean. But one minor criticism that I can give them is with their unboxing videos, or better said, their streaming approach on them. Now, I have nothing against the topic of unboxing, I can totally see an audience for that sort of thing. In fact, sometimes that helps me know what a certain product contains before even thinking of purchasing them, you know? No, my nitpick, because that's what it is, comes in the fact that instead of keeping their previous format of having unboxing videos, they decided to turn them into streams, which again is not inherently bad by any means, but it's the fact that they don't archive their streams what I feel could be something to consider. I know that unboxing videos have an expiration date, since you can't just find certain products after a while, especially in trading card games, but the videos themselves are also good time capsules of their respective teams. Not to mention that I feel it also helps to show their rates within their own pools. In my video of Larry in the Hole, I mentioned how some people legitimately think buying a box full of packs will give them at least one of all the cards in their respective teams, which, as they have shown in their unboxings, is not really the case. Videos like this should be archived in order to keep that small yet needed awareness regarding the issue of low prints, which, as the name states, is when the card doesn't get printed enough in order to increase their value and rarity. Something that, while good in the collector's point of view, it's also hard to balance when you're trying to turn this into a game that may require that card in order to play with the deck that you want. Especially we consider that at the time of the recording, we're now starting to get the whole thing with the scalpers. So yeah, keep that in mind. I understand them that streaming allows them to be more intimate with their fanbase, but life is a thing despite what the internet might say. And there have been times where I wanted to watch their streams, but I couldn't because of work or just life situations. I know they have been doing some unboxing videos on their secondary channel, Team APS+, but as far as I know, we still missed a couple of unboxings from the streams that weren't archived at all. It's just something that I feel could be kept in mind. Again, just a comment. Again, I'm not trying to be offensive, I'm sorry. But like I said, it's just one of the many other types of content that they make. They even have a secondary channel that goes more in depth about deck profiles and maybe even a thing or two about the community as a whole. This is a team that cares about the enjoyment of the game over anything else, while still acknowledging the realities on the community and how far can those things be actually fixed without expecting the game to change entirely. Not to mention their constant growth in terms of composition and editing. Just look how far things have come, and I do hope they're proud of themselves because their craft keeps getting better since there's always something to improve to make the videos even more engaging. If it's not being obvious enough at this point, I can only recommend this channel with a straight face to those that are into the series. And if you're someone that dropped the game years ago, you can still enjoy it, but prepare to wonder what the hell some of these cards are. But even then, if you're just a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh!, there is something to enjoy, casual or experience. I even got the chance to help them with a small asset on the real life anime duel video, and I hope it's not the last time I get to work with them. Congrats on their growth, and I look forward for more of their content in the future.
Holy shit. So this what we doing now? Firewall gets banned, and you resort to doing this?
I have a response?